YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. Welcome back to Final Stretch Horse Racing Sim 1. It's been a couple of weeks since we played. We have two horses. We have Run for Whiskey, who is our colt, and we have Z Alpine, which is our filly. So we're looking at Z Alpine right now on screen. This is Run for Whiskey. He is up there at 7 years of age. It's been a minute since I played. So I am going to need to kind of get my bearings back underneath me. And I see in my spreadsheet we're working on improving the acceleration technique and endurance for Run for Whiskey. And then as far as the Alpine is concerned, we're also working on her technique, her adaptability, and her endurance. Because her technique and her adaptability are both pretty bad. They've went up a couple of points since the last time I recorded, but I mean, nothing major. So you guys can probably hear the game noises coming through. I don't have my headphones in. So, let's just go ahead and focus on getting these horses into a race. But let me just double check my management and everything. My buildings. As I said, it's been a couple weeks since I played. I don't think anything is actually being built as we speak. Staff buildings upgraded to level 2. Or actually, no, everything's at level 1 right now. Thought I was building something. We only have 66k. We're probably going to take out a loan depending if we can't get a win. So let's go ahead and get Z Alpine into a race. Now she likes very long races, or as far as the distance, she likes very long, soft. Tracks have to be obviously on the right. Edmund Cody seems to be her best driver. Because her endurance is pretty bad, I'm not actually going to race with her. I'll let the AI do that. And as far as Run for Whiskey is concerned, I will race with him. He prefers the shorter distances. So let's see about getting her into a race. So let's look at the race calendar here. And let's see. Now we gotta look for relatively long distance. She may have quite a layoff. Because for whatever reason, there's no racing between December and January in this game, which is a little bit weird because certain tracks around the country, and at least in the United States, has year-long racing. In fact, my local track, 20 minutes from me, I just went to watch some of them today. They race all year long pretty much. So apparently that's not the case here. So she's going to have quite a layoff, which hopefully the training will benefit her. So we're looking for tracks on the right here. Let's see, Charlestown, Montreal, yada yada, London. London is those tracks. So this is the next race we can put her in. Run for Whisk, same for both of them actually. So it'll be a couple of months off. It's on the dirt. She prefers sand. I'd prefer to not give her too long of a layoff, but we may not have a choice because I'm not seeing any. Okay, here's one with sand, but the distance is really short. That's at Windsor, and that track is on the right. Yeah. So in terms of finding the right races, Charlestown, this is a race you can do. Very long on the sand on the right. It's basically a 5-month layoff, but yeah, do what we got to do. So we're gonna look for Edmund Cody. Get him back on there and see how that goes. So she won't be racing for a while. Run for Whiskey, same deal with him. He likes short distances on the sand. And the soonest one we can get him into, I think, is the Windsor race, 1,500 meters. It's not till March. It's the best we can do for both of them. I don't want to run them on the dirt if I don't have to. I want to run them ideally where they're going to succeed the best. So for him, we're looking for Andreas Rainier. And that's who will be in the sulky there. So between now and then, I guess it's just training these horses. I'm not going to buy another one. I'm not going to buy another one at all. I'm going to stick with these two. So yeah, it's really just working on the training here. And I think our preferences are still set where they need to be. So looking at Z Alpine, like I said, she needs to work on her technique and adaptability as well as her endurance. So we're focusing on her weaknesses. So yeah, a lot of emphasis on endurance here. Technique and adaptability is not here. But I think she's pretty much set up. So looking at the lad here, we don't want to overtrain her. One thing I've noticed in this game is if you overtrain your horses, they will get injured, and that puts you back quite a bit. So you got to be careful with that. Her conditioning is terrible. So actually, we may need to condition her for 1 week just to see if that goes up. It's going to cost a little bit to do that as well. We'll have Utaki Caesar handling that. Actually, no. I believe this is... Oh, never mind. Her conditioning is fine. I was looking at the actual trainers' ratings, which is what these are. Kind of forgot that for a second. So let's see. Who do we want to work on her? Technique and adaptability. 19. Let's see. What about Jackie? My computer's being weird here. It's not allowing me to select the other trainer. It's really being weird. It's annoying. Let me check on Run for Whiskey. Okay. His technique is higher. For Jackie, this trainer here, her technique rating is rated much better, at 39. So we need to switch them around. We're going to put Caesar over here. We'll put Jackie over here because Z Alpine needs to have her technique improved. So actually, we're going to do technique training here. She needs technique and adaptability, which is not on here. I'm not sure what category that would fall under. But we'll do technique for 2 weeks, give her a break, and then we'll have her focus on... does she need any more preference training? Let's see. No, her preferences are pretty straight. So we'll have her do technique for 2 weeks. We'll have her take a week off. And then we'll have her come back to endurance training. Now I'm just going to monitor this month by month. I'm not going to set it months in advance because I got to see how they're improving to see if we need to make any changes on the fly. Run for Whiskey. He also needs to have his endurance improved. Endurance is a big deal for me in these Horse Racing Manager games. This and Horse Racing Manager 2, endurance and stamina is huge. If that's shot, winning is really, really difficult, and it's just not fun. So we'll have him do endurance training for 2 weeks, have him take a week off as well, and then have him focus on his acceleration. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully training goes well. I'm trying to figure out if I need to do every other. Sometimes I think even training back-to-back in 2 weeks can make them more susceptible to injury. The injury is 22 out of 64. I think ideally this injury number right here, that this little, you see this, the marker on screen, you want to keep this as close to the number on the right as possible. Right now it's 22 out of 64, which means Run for Whiskey, if this number continues to drop from 22 closer to 0, he may be more susceptible to being injured. I think that's what that is. I never really paid attention to it. And Z Alpine, she seems to be pretty good here. 21 out of 25, so that's pretty close to her max, so she should be okay. But Run for Whiskey, there's a lot of space in between this number and the 64. So we'll see if that goes down after a week. So we're going to set this to just 1 week. Advance. Now let's see. So it was previously at 22. Now it's at 25. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it's up or down that dictates whether or not a horse is closer to injury in this game, because all the stats basically are organized in a way where the number on the left is the number on the right is the highest number it can be. Meaning, if a horse's endurance is, let's actually take a look here in the box. Ideally, when you look at these numbers, I'm thinking one on the right is the highest it can get to. One on the left is, the number not being at its highest point. That's what I'm thinking. So the injury thing, I'm not entirely sure. It could be that 63 is where you don't want the horse to get to, or it could be where you want the horse to stay away from. I'm not sure. But the number went up. Run for Whiskey, it was previously 22 out of 64. Now it's basically 25 out of 64. So that has me thinking maybe the closer to this number it is, the worse, since he obviously trained. And the same thing for Z Alpine. So she's actually really close. I'm thinking that's what this means. The closer this number gets to, the closer the number on the left gets to the number on the right, basically, that means your horse has a chance of being injured. So with that being said, Run for Whiskey is good. Z Alpine, I'm actually going to adjust her training. Because if she gets injured, I want to see. We need to test this out. We'll have her still train this week, and we'll see if this is the week that pushes her over the edge for injuries. Again, when I played this as a kid, I never paid attention to this stuff, guys. I just wanted to play a game with trotters and harness horse racing because there's there's more games now, but back when I was a kid, this was literally the only legitimate harness horse racing game around, so I wasn't concerned with the details. But let's see. Now it's at 24 out of 25. It continues to go up with each training session, so this has to be what dictates when a horse gets injured. So fortunately, she has a rest week this week, so we'll see if the number goes down. Run for Whiskey, he is 28 out of 64, so he has some way to go as well. But let's go ahead and look to see if their stats have improved here, which I'm not sure. Yeah, not racing between now and March is really going to hurt us financially, but I was planning on taking out a loan anyways. So, Z Alpine, let's see. Her technique started out as 14. Her technique right now is 22, so it's went up 6 points. That's good. Her adaptability is still at 16. I have no idea what category that would fall under for training. I don't know if it's race behavior or what. Her endurance is barely went up. Started at 40, it's only at 40.7. It appears her max is 41.3. I hope that's not where she maxes out for endurance. That would be quite bad. Run for Whiskey, kind of the same deal. His endurance has only went up about 1 point. Let's look at his technique. His technique was at 25 initially. Now it's at 31. That's good. His acceleration initially was at 33, and now it's at 35. So technique seems to be doing well for both of these horses, and that's mainly because of the trainer we have. Jackie Denlaud is actually really good with the technique training. Utaki Caesar, she's not bad. Her technique training is only 19. Endurance-wise, Utaki is also good. Her endurance program is 92. Jackie's endurance program is 86. So their endurance should both be going up, but we're just now starting them with endurance training. I just realized we haven't really done it. So we're going to skip another week. And let's see, Run for Whiskey, okay. So his number went down. So for sure, and so does the Alpine. So for sure, the closer the number on the left here is to the number on the right, that means they're more susceptible to being injured. So you want to monitor, you want to make sure you keep this number on the left pretty much as close to 0 as possible. So now that I know that for sure, that gives me confidence going forward with training sessions. So Z Alpine, I believe, let's check her again here. Her endurance is still at the same for Run for Whiskey, so we're going to train him again. Well, Z Alpine this week is going to be training with endurance. Run for Whiskey will be training in acceleration. Let's see if those improve. Okay, so Z Alpine, 14 out of 25, so she's still good. Run for Whiskey, same thing. 18 out of 64, not too bad. Before we check their stats, let's go ahead and look at our staff. So, assistants, morale is high. Everybody else, they're not too happy, but I'm not going to change anything right now. I think everybody's doing pretty well currently. No, morale is a little bit down, but that tends to happen sometimes. So let's check out. So endurance barely went up for Z Alpine, not too much. Technique is still the same. Adaptability is still the same. Run for Whiskey, his endurance is pretty much the same. Acceleration as well. Technique as well. So we'll just have to monitor those as we go. Let's go back to training here. So now we're going to do, what I'll do is I'll do off and on. I'm realizing now it might be more beneficial just to train 1 week, give them a week off, train 1 week. Continue to do that. Run for Whiskey can probably train a lot more frequently because his number is much higher. Z Alpine we got to manage. So this week I want to have her train in endurance, give her a week off, have her train in endurance. I want to see what a month's worth of endurance training does. We'll do the same thing here for Run for Whiskey. We'll actually have them train 2 weeks in endurance, give them a week off, have them train another week in endurance. So we'll monitor. So fast forward a week. So Z Alpine will be taking a week off here. Run for Whiskey, he should be fine. Let's see if anything's improved. The endurance is going up. Okay, so the endurance is slightly improving. This number for Z Alpine used to be maxed out at about 41.5. Now it's 42.2. So it's good to hear and see that the endurance is actually slowly improving for her and as well as Run for Whiskey. Both of their endurance max numbers actually went up. So that is a good sign. All right, so let's get back to training. Fast forward a week. Now Z Alpine's injury numbers went from 17 down to 4, which is fantastic. Run for Whiskey is still at 23. No worries. Let's fast forward another week. Okay, she's at 7. Run for Whiskey. He'll be training again. Z Alpine. We'll have her train in endurance. Kind of going heavy with the endurance training. That's going to help us out long term. I'll have her do endurance and technique training back to back. Give her a week off. See how that goes. So we are officially into the new year. $43,000 left. Z Alpine, she'll still be good to go with training for a while. Run for Whiskey. He's pretty much good as well. So his endurance is now at 43. Z Alpine's endurance is also at 43. So the endurance training is slightly working. Slow and steady, but we are improving, which is the main thing. As long as this number is steadily increasing, that's what we want. So clearly it's going to take a while for endurance training to get to the point where I really want it to. So this month, January is quite an extended month. Z Alpine, I'm going to have her do 2 weeks of technique training, give her a week off, see what she's doing. Run for Whiskey. Let's actually have him train acceleration, endurance, and acceleration. I'm actually going to see how he handles 3 weeks of consistent training to see what happens. So we'll skip a week. All right. We're just going to skip these next 2 weeks. Z Alpine, we'll give her a week off. All right. So that was 3 weeks we just skipped towards the end of January. Let's see how they're looking now. So Z Alpine's officially 4 years old. Her endurance still at the 41-ish, not great. Her technique has gone up. From 14 originally when we started this game, this file. Now her technique is at 27, so that's good. Her acceleration has stayed the same. We haven't worried about that. Adaptability, I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to maybe do race behavior training. It'll cost some money. See what happens. Run for Whiskey. His endurance slowly going up. His acceleration also kind of inching up. Technique not bad. So he is not making as much progress as I think she is. So I don't know what race adaptability or race... I don't know what adaptability is in this game. It's not a training category. It could be fitness. It could be race behavior. I'm going to try her with race behavior for a week to see how that goes. Run for Whiskey. Let's see. What is his conditioning at? Make sure they're good as far as that's concerned. Conditioning, does it say? Doesn't actually say on here, but I think they're okay. We've been training them for the last 2 months, and nothing's popped up as far as conditioning is concerned. So they should be relatively okay. Anything new? Nah. So our money is running low, but like I said, I'm planning on taking out a loan eventually anyway, so I'm not too worried. Let's see. Let's get Run for Whiskey back on technique training and acceleration to close out the month. So let's fast forward a week. Now let's see. Z Alpine. Okay, adaptability is race behavior, I figured, but it costs money, and I don't know how much. So I need to look at my funds and see how much it costs to do that. Let's see. Oh, it's not here. This is just the horse estimated. So budget. Let's see. Training. How much did it cost this week? Horse training costs $85 to do that. Okay, that's actually not terrible. So I may have her I'll have Z Alpine do more race behavior training. I know this may not be the most exciting thing, but there's nothing we can do because I can't race these horses until basically April and March, I think. Yeah. So skip another month. And let's verify adaptability is going up. So race behavior and adaptability is the same category. Slowly improving. It's still kind of a very slow and steady increase as far as those things are concerned. Right, we're going to drop race behavior for him. We're going to bump this up into endurance training. Speed will drop down as well. Put that into acceleration training. Z Alpine, she seems to be pretty good. So we're going to have her focus again on technique. Kind of make that an emphasis for her. We'll have her go 3 weeks in a row. Horse. Breeding season, which we're not going to do. Runs from February till July, which is nice. Most horse racing games, breeding season is literally only 1 month, and then you got to wait a whole year. So it's nice that that's not the case here in this game. So with Run for Whiskey for this month of February, we'll have him train in endurance. Let's have him kind of go endurance heavy. We'll skip these weeks. So okay, we just skipped 3 weeks, and let's see where they are at. So endurance is going up slowly but surely. So endurance is at 42 for Z Alpine. She started out as 40. Like I said, endurance is really slow to increase. Her technique has really improved. 33 for her technique, which is great. It'll help her not to break. Her acceleration has stayed the same. Her adaptability we haven't worked on in the last couple of weeks. Run for Whiskey, though, his endurance slowly going up as well. His acceleration hasn't improved like I would have liked. His technique has gone up quite a bit. So our main focuses for him really need to be his acceleration and his endurance. That's what I want to focus on. So he'll be racing actually pretty soon. So we're going to get that done in this video. So, what I want to do is give him probably 2 weeks off. So we'll have him do one more training session here. And this will be just for an acceleration, I believe. Give him 2 weeks off. Alpine, she's got a little bit of time to go. We'll have her do 1 more week's worth of endurance training. Give her a week off. Okay, so actually we'll give her 2 weeks off probably. Run for Whiskey, though, his injury form is pretty high, so we're gonna have him just rest up and get ready to race. Alpine, though, we'll wait. So fast forward another week. We got 16K. We are running low on money. Dietitian came to examine Alpine and gave some advice on more adequate diet. Okay. And diet. Better diet for both of these horses. So let's look at the feed here. Let's see. Use 5 rations of cattle cake, which they did set for us. Use 5 rations of oats, which is also set up for Alpine. Okay, so diet-wise, they should be good as we speak. Poor digestion at times, moody. Yeah, they have everything set, I believe, so I don't think there's anything much else that we need to do. We are low on funds here, but I believe we have a race coming up, and depending on how we do in that race, we'll obviously take out that loan. Let's fast forward another week. Okay, we're down to 14K. Race week will be coming up here very soon. Alpine, she can train. I'll give her a week's worth of endurance training. Have her take a week off. She'll be ready to go. Run for Whiskey. He should be up here right now. And we're finally to a race. He's in race 4. So let's go to our race. And we'll register to bet just so we can see the odds, see him participate. And I think we will be racing with him today. So acceleration is at 36 for a Run for Whiskey. Technique is at 33. His endurance has gotten up to 42. Let's see what the bookmakers are saying here. Run for Whiskey. Our odds are not looking great. We are a big long shot. Like I said, that layoff is not going to help us out at all. Pretty sure nobody's going to be talking about us in any predictions. Well, I'm still going to give him a race. I'm still going to race with him, I guess I should say. See how he improves. Yeah, we are the second to last long shot here. We are not looking to perform too well. Let's look at the field here. This is a Group 3, Category 3. I didn't even recognize maybe this field. This filled with some stacked horses. Some horses with good stats, some that aren't too crazy. So I don't think we're completely outmatched in this field, to be honest. 1,500 meters, which is a very short distance. We're on the sand as well. Ground is light. These are all the exact preferences Run for Whiskey likes. I'm not sure exactly, though, what's up with the odds here and why we're not expected to do too well. Like I said, these horses statistically are not that much better than Run for Whiskey. I mean, some of them are. Let's actually look at their endurance. Let's see, 42, 46. I mean, their endurance is slightly better, nothing major. Speed-wise, they're a little bit better. Technique and acceleration, I'm just scanning through. I mean, some are a little bit better than Run for Whiskey, but like I said, they're not that much better. So I'm really not sure why we're not expected to do well here. But we are going to participate in this race ourselves and see if we can have a decent finish. It's been a while since I played. I should have probably warmed up, but we'll see how this goes. Not a great start, but we'll manage. 3, 2, 1. And we are off and pacing. So this is going to be pretty short. We're going to move into the inside here. Speed, we seem to be running okay. Field is taking off ahead of us a little bit. See how fast they're running. They're running 43 kilometers an hour, so we're going to have to pick up our pace here. We don't want to get too far behind. Alright, let's see. We probably There's only one horse behind us now. Yeah, they're running pretty fast. They gotta be running 45 kilometers. They're riding too fast. So we'll have stamina. We're running pretty easy. Let's go ahead. I didn't want to increase the speed that much. We're at 44 kilometers an hour now. Still kind of getting the hang of things, figuring out where to get the right start. I think I have this knack of starting out slow more than not. 46 kilometers. They are really booking it up there. We're running at 44 kilometers easy. Let's increase to 45. I'm worried about running up to 46. I don't know if that's going to drain this horse. 46, 49, they are really pushing it. We're running easy at 45 kilometers, so let's go ahead and continue to increase the speed here. Let's see what happens, because I believe this is just one time around here. 46 kilometers, still running relatively easy. We have enough stamina to make it till the end. I'm going to see what happens if I increase them to 47 now. They're running pretty good. See if we can catch a couple horses in the stretch. We increase the speed. I mean, we are the long shot, but let's see what we can do. I'm not going to whip this horse. So we're going to go ahead and continue to increase the speed. We're going to monitor our stamina, make sure we don't break. But it looks like we are going to catch a couple horses here as we come down the stretch. But we're not going to finish in the money, which is ideally what we were trying to have happen. So keeping up with the field is definitely something I got to manage. And again, that endurance I think is a big deal. Of course, a lot of those horses tired out. And we finished in last, I believe. Yep. Finished in last. There's not much I could do there. I think our slow start did not help us at all. I got to try to get out to a faster start if I feel like we can handle the pace. Your horse, the Alpine, seems to be limited in its speed progress by its lack of endurance. No kidding. That's why I've been focusing on endurance training. It's so crucial in this game. It really is. It's more crucial in this game than any other horse racing game, endurance. It's a really, really big deal. So that's why I put so much emphasis on it. It's not the best effort for Run for Whiskey. It'd always be worse. Horses for sale. We're not really looking. Yeah, so we'll take out a loan here relatively soon. That could have went better. Like I said, I think really increasing the endurance is going to be our best bet. I'll be able to keep up with the faster paced horses. And we'll be able to run our races much better. So the Alpine, she'll be up, and we're just going to watch the AI race her just because I don't like doing the long distance races in this game. Just not my forte, but at least you can actually watch the AI race them. So we give her a week off, and she'll be ready to go. Run for Whiskey. We can get him training again. So again, we're just we're gonna go hard with the endurance training. We're gonna have him go 3 weeks of that. Run for Whiskey's the Alpine though. She will be up next. And she's in race number 2. We're going to simulate to race 2. It's a group 3. See and participate to see the odds. Let's look through the field. First, only a field of 11, which is nice. Statistically, though, I'm not sure how we're going to pan out. Okay, endurance for some of these horses is not great. I mean, most of them are higher than us, but yeah. Well, let's look at speed and acceleration. They are much faster. They have better acceleration. So we are definitely looking... yeah, we're the long shot here today, as I figured. So we're racing at group 3s. I wonder if there's any lower class we can drop to, because maybe I don't know if there's any lower competition I can race my horses in. Because if we can't, I mean, group 3s I think is the lowest we can go. I'm not sure where else we can go from here, but should be able to watch. And we are. Now, where is Run for Whiskey? And where is the Alpine? I cannot see. There she is, right there. And here we go. It's a very long race, so this will probably be the last one of this video. I'll make sure to do more races, future videos, but at the same time, you got to enter your horses in the right races in this game. And like I said, there's that 3-month no racing time. Now, this is driver. Edmund Cody is actually getting Z Alpine up there to the front, which is nice. Now, 3,100 meters. I'm pretty sure they're going twice around this track. 1,500 meters was just a once around from start to finish. So 3,100 meters ideally should be twice around. Passing the finish line once, come back around, then you finish up the second time. So they're running 4 wide there on the outside. I'm not feeling too good about that. Hopefully, Edmund is able to move her in because she's also getting hit with the wind, which is going to make her tired. So I hope he's able to, you know, find a position for her. He's running her now 3 wide on the outside. She's running longer. She's dealing with the wind as well. It's not what you want your horse to be dealing with. It's going to drain her stamina more, but I guess he's pretty content keeping her where she's at. She was near the front. She was near the front, I would say, in the first, what, 2,000 meters or so. I don't know how she ended up getting basically second last, third last to the back here. So let's see what the rest of the horses are doing. Edmund's got her running too fast at 41 kilometers. Everybody's pretty much running 41 kilometers an hour. The rest of the field is good. It says Z Alpine, though, she's running too fast, riding too fast, which is not a good sign. She's riding too fast, so she's at the back. That means she's going to be gassed out by the time we get to the end, which is not ideal. It's not what you want. But we'll see how this progresses, obviously. We shall see. We're going to have to take out a loan here soon, which means we're going to have to saddle some winners. Again, I don't want to spend money buying another horse. I'm going to see if we can enter these horses in lower class races. I don't think we can, though. I think they're racing at the lowest competition possible. So if that's not the case, like I said, spending money on a good horse, yeah, it's worth it, but we got to make sure we can win with that horse. If we buy a really good horse and we're not winning, then that's just going to be a waste. And I don't feel confident yet in my skills to do that yet. I'll buy a better horse once I know I can actually pull out the wins I need to. But I'm sticking with these two because we've had some decent results. So I don't think we have we won a race yet? I can't recall. It's been a while. I know we've finished in the money at least twice. So, yeah, I'm confident we can finish in the money with these horses, but we got to put them in the right races with the right distances, most importantly. And like I said, working on their endurance is really my main focus. I feel like with higher endurance, we're just going to be able to do much better. I think that's going to be the biggest thing for us. We're going to be able to keep up with the field and not gas out, which is, like I said, usually what happens with me in these games. These games specifically, Horse Racing Manager 2 and Final Stretch, or the Horse Racing Manager series in general. That's always been my biggest issue, is just the stamina. Everything else is okay. So, getting that endurance up is most important, and I think we'll be able to bring in some winners. So, this should be the last time around here as we approach turns 3 and 4. And as they approach turn 4, this should be the finish line. The Alpine is in the back. I don't know what her stamina is doing at all. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully she doesn't break or anything like that. Yeah. They are on the whip now. Now, she is the long shot, so she's not expected to finish great. But let's see if we can catch some of the horses. Now, she's blocked. That's annoying. Driver moves that horse inside, moves it back out. So, let's go to a different camera angle to see how she finishes. Now, she's running 44 kilometers an hour. They're running 45s, 48s, 46, some 42s, easy. She is running 43 right now, good pace, and she is getting blocked. This is that's an absolute mess. Her momentum was really good. That driver just blocked us. That horse broke. So I think we're still gonna finish last. Second to last. Ugh. Could have been better. Stay very fast, but was not able to handle this level of competition. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we need to take out a loan now because we are almost bankrupt. Practically. Let's check here. Results. Finished 10th. Let's see race calendar. The thing is, it doesn't even tell you what the category. I don't think it tells you the category of the race and how difficult. The only conditions it gives you is handicap and claiming. So that's not very helpful, to say the least. Yeah, that is not very helpful at all. So I would imagine, I mean, we're only running against Group 3. I would assume races with higher winnings obviously are going to be much more difficult, but in terms of finding the easier races, it's kind of hard. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Doesn't really give you any specifications as far as that is concerned. So as we come to an end of this video, gotta improve that endurance for both of these horses. I really think that's gonna be a big deal for us and having better results. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take out a loan. And we got to pay this loan back as well. So we take out a $50,000 loan. It has to last us a year. And that means we're going to have to win. We take out a $500,000 loan. It's supposed to last us 4 years before we can take out another one. I totally could go for broke and do a $500,000 loan and just see how long we can last with that amount of money. Because what's the point in taking out these smaller amounts? I might as well take out the most right now because I don't know how successful we're going to be. If we're going to get to a successful point, we'll be fine. I'll pay the loan back and then we'll be able to do it again if we need to. Right now, we haven't won anything major, so it doesn't really make sense for me to take out a small loan because we're going to need more money again anyways. That's the way I look at it, at least. So like I said, we're going to continue with endurance training. I really think that's the best thing for us to do. Let's look at our staff here. The morale is up and down. I don't really feel the need to change anything. I think everybody's pretty much okay. I don't think anybody's doing terrible. I just think we have to make our horses better. Now, buildings wise, let's see if there's anything I need to improve or buy. Reduce the cost of food, that's the hanger. Staff buildings increases the efficiency of your staff. I probably should upgrade that to level 2 and 3. That will help them in all aspects. Let's see. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and take out a $500K loan right now. And hopefully we'll be able to pay that money back. This gotta last us 4 years. You already have a loan outstanding. It's got to last us 4 years until we can take out another one. So, what we're going to do to improve the efficiency of our staff, we're going to improve this structure to level 2. We could go to level 3. We're going to go to level 2 first and see how that works. There's plenty of other structures we can buy. Again, I'm not worried about this stuff until we can start getting some decent placings as far as our races are concerned. So, as we conclude this video, Z Alpine, we'll have her do endurance training for a week. And she will ever do endurance training again. Run for Whiskey, we can train for quite a bit. Let's see about a race for Run for Whiskey. 2,800. He doesn't have the endurance for that. It's also something I'm not thinking about. Z Alpine, though she prefers longer distances for races, her endurance is not meant to go that distance yet. So I ideally need to keep her in shorter races until we're able to build that up. Be limited in its speed progress by its lack of endurance. I know, I'm working on it. So I keep forgetting, despite what the preferences say, she doesn't have the endurance to run in long distance races. So we got to continue to keep her in shorter distances. Kind of keep forgetting that. So 1,800 meters in May is the next shortest one. It's on dirt, which isn't ideal, and it's a handicap. Yeah, we'll run her in the Royal Trophy, and we'll get Edmund back in the sulky for her. I think that's the best thing we can do. I don't think the drivers are the problem. I just think the horses lack the endurance to finish where they need to. Run for Whiskey, same deal. I don't like the mounted races at all. They're just, not fun. So we'll have him race as well. Pretty much the same week, same race type, 1,900 meters. Let's see, there's one for 6 years, 6 years and up, and then 7 years and up. One is a handicap, one is not. We'll have him just run in the race without a handicap for 7. Oh, actually, hold on. Are they both handicapped? No, they're not. Okay. So we'll have him do this. They'll basically be racing the same week. He'll be running with Andreas Rainier. Alright, they're both entered. Shorter distances, I think, is the best. I'm going to have to do much better getting Run for Whiskey to the front of the field. Z Alpine, I'll be racing with her next time around. Since we're doing a shorter race, I'll see if I can get her to be... I'm just going to see what happens if I run my horses near the front. Let's just see how the endurance responds, ultimately, and see if it really does make them suffer in the end. Because like I said, I think the last couple of races I've done, I've struggled getting them to the front fast enough, and then I'm spending the race trying to catch them back up. I need to make sure I set them to be a little bit faster once the gate breaks and try to get them towards the front. So let's make sure we save here. So we're going to save. Are we really racing in Edmonton? I totally forgot. That's where I position this. So guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate a lot of support. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Next time we come back, we'll be doing some more training. We'll be racing both of our horses, and we'll see if we can finish in the money. See if we can try to get them out towards the front, because that's the main thing we are suffering with. We are fighting from the back, and then it's too late by the time we start to catch up to the field. So I got to be a little bit better at getting them out to the front and see how we perform. Appreciate love and support. But until next time, we're Racing Gamer signing out. Hope you have a great and fantastic day. See ya, and goodbye.